So at the time you are seeing this, it is February 19th, which also happens to be my 26th birthday. And to celebrate, I got myself some books. Okay, I didn't buy all of these for my birthday. Some of them I bought a few months ago, but seemed like a good time to officially haul these bad boys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about books and writing. In today's video, I'm going to be officially hauling some of the books that I got over the last few months. I think it's been about like 5-ish months since I last filmed a book haul, so I do have a lot of things to share. I also have multiple Agatha Christie books that I bought recently, so I think I will do those at the end of the video, just so if you're not interested in seeing those, you can bow out then. But let's get into the books that I got. I did get several of these with a Barnes & Noble gift card, so I didn't have to spend a lot of money out of pocket, which is always good. So first, I'm going to formally haul the book that I picked up at Authentic Books in Orlando, Florida. A few months ago, I filmed that for a vlog that I did on visiting Orlando's viral bookstore, or I called it something like that. I'll link it in the card if you want to go check that out. But the book that I picked up there is The Poison Thread by Laura Purcell. I have read Laura Purcell before. I read her mystery set in Bath, which I just totally blanked on the name. What was it again? The Shape of Darkness. I read The Shape of Darkness and I enjoyed that one, though I can't seem to remember the title, evidently. And The Poison Thread is another one of her books that has been on my TBR for many years. This is another Gothic mystery, and I think it's set in the 1800s or thereabouts. It doesn't say on the back of the book. It's a Gothic mystery following two women, one of whom is currently in prison, accused of murder. And I don't know a whole lot about this book because I have seen a lot of really positive reviews for it, but people are a little vague in their reviews, so I'm not entirely sure everything that happens in this book. And I believe it's called The Poison Thread because the accused murderess allegedly killed someone using just a needle and thread. So since I liked this author before and I've heard good things about this one, I decided to pick it up when I was at Authentic Books. Authentic Books is a bookstore where you create your own book bag or book box when you go there. So I've seen it a lot on Instagram and I went there in that video. It was fun. Do check that out if you're interested. Then when I went to this used bookstore near me, I had some trade-in credit because I sold some old books to the store in exchange for money that I could use to buy books from them. And one thing that I saw the last time I was there, and I knew I had to pick it up, was A Quiet Life in the Country by T.E. Kinsey. This is the first Lady Hardcastle mystery, and I've heard a lot of really good things about this series. This follows Lady Hardcastle and Florence, her maid, who retire to the country to lead a peaceful existence, but somebody ends up getting murdered in the country. And Lady Hardcastle and Florence, who it turns out used to be spies, end up solving the case. This is the first in a series of cozy historical mysteries, and I've heard rave reviews from the booktube community, so when I saw it, I figured I should pick it up since I had the credit, and I've heard a lot of really good things about this book. Then these two books I bought for myself using my Barnes & Noble gift cards. First, The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. I really enjoy Janice Hallett as a mystery author. She wrote The Appeal, which I read and really enjoyed, and I also read The Twyford Code by her, which I also thought was good. And I haven't read this book of hers yet. It wasn't at the library, so I needed to buy it. And I figured, while I had this gift card, why not get this Janice Hallett book? So this is another mystery, and I'm not sure, yes it is, okay. It's told in mixed media, like a lot of Janice Hallett's books are. So there are also text messages and emails in this, and I have to say, I like that there's actually messages between people in this, because one of the complaints I did have about The Appeal was that the appeal is mixed media, but it's told pretty much entirely through emails. And sometimes people were emailing each other about things that I don't think people in real life would email about. They would just text. So this one looks like it incorporates more types of media. Like it says here, emails, WhatsApp, FaceTime. So that looks good. So the basic premise of this book is there are two true crime authors, Amanda and Oliver. And Amanda and Oliver are both investigating this cult known as the Alperton Angels. They were active decades earlier, and they were basically a religious cult where there was a baby who this cult believed was the Antichrist. And they brainwashed this young mother into believing that her baby was the Antichrist. Eventually, she contacted the police. All of the members of the cult died by suicide, or seemingly died by suicide. That's the official story anyway. And nobody knows what happened to this mother and her baby after the cult disintegrated. So Amanda and Oliver are looking into this story to figure out what happened to them, what's the real story of this mysterious cult. I am a Janice Hallett fan, so excited to dive into this one in the future. And then also with my gift card, I bought Howard's End by E.M. Forster. Now, if you've watched my previous book hauls, you might be thinking to yourself, Jackie, don't you already have this book? Yes, I have 2 other copies of it, but let me explain. I ordered Howard's End on Thrift Books, and listen, I love Thrift Books. Don't get me wrong, they're great. But the picture on their website showed this cover, which is the cover that I wanted. However, when I got my order, it was an entirely different cover, not the one that I was looking for. So I contacted customer support, and basically what they said to me is, you know, we can't guarantee that the books are going to look like how they look on the site, but if it's a different ISBN number, we can send you the correct one. And I did look at the ISBN number in the book, and it didn't match the Vintage Classics edition. I believe they actually, by accident, sent me a book on their site that was listed at a higher price with a different ISBN number. So they said, oh, we're so sorry about that. We'll send you one with the correct ISBN, which they did, except it was still not this cover. It was a Vintage Classics edition, but the older cover before they came out with this one, I think. So I now had 2 copies of Howard's End, neither of which was the one that I originally set out to purchase. And, you know, that's fine. I had Thrift Books rewards, so I really spent only $1 and change of my own money on that purchase. So not a big deal. But I figured, you know, since I only spent $1 of my money, and this is the edition that I wanted, I might as well get the one that I wanted. And now those 2 copies of Howard's End are in my pile to go to a little free library in the future. So at the end of the day, it wasn't a huge deal, but that's why I now have 3 copies of Howard's End. It's because this is the one that I wanted. This is the one that I wanted the cover. I think this is a cute cover. This is the one that I set out to buy. I wanted to read this because one day when I was in Barnes & Noble, I picked it up and I started reading the first chapter, and I was actually quite liking the writing style from the select pages that I read. I have watched the adaptation of this starring Matthew McFadden and Haley Atwell, which I thought was good. So since I felt like I was getting on with the writing, I decided why not pick this up and add it to my classics TBR. Also, I posted this on my Instagram story recently, and my agent responded to my post on my story saying this is one of her all-time favorite books. So if she loves it, maybe I'll love it too. You know, I trust her judgment. We have similar tastes. So I'm excited to pick this up sometime. So that is it for my non-Agatha Christie books in this haul video. If you are not interested in those and you want to tune out here, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and do hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more bookish content from me. I post every single Wednesday. But for all of you fellow Agatha Christie fans who are still here, let's get into the Agatha Christie section of this haul. So one thing that I was super excited to see at Barnes & Noble is Black Coffee. So this is actually a play by Agatha Christie, a play featuring Hercule Poirot and Hastings. And if you don't know, I'm currently on a mission to read all of Agatha Christie's mysteries. And for a long time, I've been looking to get Black Coffee because it is part of the Poirot series. And I do want to be able to read all of Poirot. I really enjoy that series. And so it kind of bothered me that this one title was eluding me. Obviously, it's not a novel, it's a script. And there is a novelization of it. However, Agatha Christie did not write that. It was written, I think, in the 90s after she had died by someone who wasn't her. And so that was really what I was seeing when I looked up Black Coffee. I was seeing a lot of places that were selling the novelization. But I was thinking to myself, man, I would really like to get the original script that Agatha Christie wrote. So when I saw this at Barnes & Noble, I was so excited. Finally, at last, I found it. It is very short, and, you know, is it going to be as good as her novels? I don't know. But because I am on this mission to read all of Christie, and I do want to read all of Poirot, I really wanted to have the script that she wrote, rather than merely a novelization that somebody else wrote based on her concept. And I may read that novelization after I read the script, but I just really wanted to have this to complete my Christie goal, and now I'm so glad that I do have it. And the final thing that I purchased with my Barnes & Noble gift card is Postern of Fate. This is the final Tommy and Tuppence mystery, and I know it is not a highly regarded book of Christie's because this is one that she wrote later in her life, so it's just not, I've heard it's not the same quality as books that she wrote when she was younger. A lot of people think that Agatha Christie may have had some form of dementia towards the end of her life, so some of her later books just don't have the same feel that her earlier titles do. But I want to read every Christie book, including the later ones. And this is a book that my library didn't have. It's the only Tommy and Tuppence book that's not available to check out. So I decided to pick it up with my gift card. I do really love Tommy and Tuppence, so that is a bright spot. I just find them very delightful characters. I really like reading about the two of them. This is the final Tommy and Tuppence. It actually takes place when Tommy and Tuppence are elderly, because unlike Poirot and Marple, Tommy and Tuppence actually age in real time along with the series. So the premise of this book is that Tommy and Tuppence have just bought a house, and while they are going through the house, they discover a note alluding to the fact that some woman was murdered. So they start looking into this note. Who was this woman? Who left this note here? Was she actually murdered? And that's the basic premise of the book. Now, this book I already showed on my channel recently, so I will be brief, but The Seven Dials Mystery, this is the sequel to The Secret at Chimneys, and I am planning to read this one this year because there is going to be a Netflix adaptation of The Seven Dials Mystery coming out in the future, and obviously I want to read the book first. I discussed this in my 2025 Agatha Christie TBR video, so I will link that in the card if you want to go watch that and see all of the Christie books that I am planning to read this year. This is the sequel to The Secret at Chimneys, like I said, which I must confess, I actually really enjoyed. I know that Agatha Christie's more thriller-style books are not that popular among the general fan base, but I found The Secret at Chimneys to be rather fun. I definitely understand that it's not the most perfectly constructed mystery, but I found the characters very likable in some cases, and I felt like there were some moments in The Secret at Chimneys where Agatha Christie was genuinely really funny. So I enjoyed it, and I want to read this sequel to it. This follows the character of Eileen Bundle Brent, who is the daughter of the Marquis of Caterham, and she appears in The Secret at Chimneys. Not sure if other characters from Chimneys appear in this as well, but this is on my TBR for the year, and I will definitely check out the adaptation when it does come out. And finally, I am so excited about this, you guys. I got Sleeping Murder, the final Miss Marple mystery, and that means I now own the entire collection of Miss Marple with these covers. Which, as I say all the time, I am obsessed with these covers. I think they are so cute. The plants are actually poisonous though, so they're pretty to look at, but deadly. I have been picking these up because I love them so much, and I am thrilled that I now have the entire set. They are going to look so beautiful together on my shelf. This is the final Miss Marple mystery, though Agatha Christie actually wrote this decades before it was published, because she wrote Sleeping Murder, the final Miss Marple mystery, and Curtain, the final Poirot mystery, during World War II, just in case something happened and she didn't survive. So she wanted to have those manuscripts just in case. And so they ended up just being put away for many years and then published at a later date. I'm not sure if they were published after Agatha Christie's death. I honestly don't remember. They might have been. I'm just not sure. It says on the back, soon after Gwenda moved into her new home, odd things started to happen. Despite her best efforts to modernize the house, she succeeded only in dredging up its past. Worse, she felt an irrational sense of terror every time she climbed the stairs. In fear, Gwenda turns to Miss Marple to exorcise her ghosts. Soon they realize they will need to solve a perfect crime committed many years before. One thing that I would like to get your opinion on, Christie fans. Okay, like I said, I want to read every single Agatha Christie mystery. I'm slowly but surely going through them all. I don't want to rush through them because I enjoy them so much. But at some point, I'm not going to have any left. And so I have given some thought. What book do I want to save for last? What do I want to be the last Agatha Christie book that I ever read for the first time? And I have to say Sleeping Murder is a contender for me because it is the final Miss Marple novel, so it is intended to be the last. That, I think, is a point in its favor. And I also know that a lot of people do really like this one. Obviously, I want to end my Christie journey on a high note. So, if you've read this, do you think this would be a good choice for my last new Christie ever? I'm also thinking about maybe saving Curtain, Poirot's Last Case, to be my final one. I really don't know, but if you have any opinions on that, let me know. What do you think I should save to be my last new Christie book? Obviously, when that day comes, whenever it comes, I'm going to have to vlog it, and it's probably going to be an emotional experience. I love Agatha Christie. She wrote so many good books, and sadly, someday I'm going to run out. Obviously, I will reread them, but, you know, there will come a day when I won't be able to read her books for the first time anymore. So everybody, that is my birthday book haul. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please do hit that like button. It really does help me and my channel. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button right down there. And I think that about covers it for today. If you watched this entire video and you want to show your support, why don't you leave the birthday cake emoji in the comments section? I do truly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!